Hi, my name's Shawn Shaler. This is Geo, one name, just like Cher, and that guy over there is Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Blue Sky. And Chris, how you doing? What are you up to? How you been?
This
I've
time you
been
ask.
Oh yeah,
I,
it's fine. I like asking Chris how he's doing.
I've been fine.
I forget what you
Yeah,
said. I
fine's
already
good.
screwed up. Chris, how was your day? That's what it was. I
Okay.
forgot what I was supposed to be
Uh,
asked.
my day. See,
Right?
it's so much more personal because
Wasn't
I
that our
think.
previous conversations?
Oh
I never
yeah.
asked you how your day
Yeah.
was.
My day. My son's out of school today because it's Good Friday, and his daycare is like a church, pretty much. Um, and that means he was down here while I was working, and yeah, had an important meeting that I couldn't really. I should have been in person for that meeting. Um, not should. It's not like my boss was like got to be in person, but I was planning to be in person, and I kind of hated taking the meeting because we had a vendor come in from out of town and like talk with us about stuff, and sometimes I couldn't hear things that they were saying. Just the conference room wasn't really set up the best way, so that annoyed me. But whatever, it was a fine enough day.
Nice, nice. Gio, what about you? How was your day, buddy?
It's good. You took me out to it.
Yeah,
We
true.
went to what's that? Q39.
Q39.
Really good barbecue.
Oh yeah, that's good
Yeah, yeah.
barbecue, I think.
It's good. I think here they overprice everything a little bit. Like they don't give you enough for what you pay. In my opinion, even if it's really good, and probably it's gonna be like a high, like a good cut of steak, but it's not enough for me. But then we went to get ice cream, which was really good. So it was a great day overall.
We do also we carry that stereotype here of like Italian dinner just being not quantity over quality, but just like quantity, like the joke about
Mm-hmm.
John Panette's a comedian I like, and he always makes that comment about like first we're gonna bring you some food, then we'll take your order,
Yeah.
and so that stereotype persists
We
here.
do a lot of
Yeah.
that.
So you liked it better or worse than Joe's overall? Just gut reaction.
Probably better.
Oh, better
From
than
what I
Joe's. Okay.
remember, I think the meat was better. I don't remember what I got to. I think Joe's was a little drier.
Uh-huh.
Like I really liked the brisket that was served to me today, the Q39.
Just not enough of it.
Yeah, just not enough.
Okay.
But same thing at Joe's. So, but probably at Joe's was you told me it was a little cheaper. I don't remember. I trust you.
I liked the pork options better at Joe's, and I like the fries better at Joe's, and I think I like the barbecue sauce better at Joe's. So like the brisket, which I had today, was great,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, um, I gave I gave blood today, and then I also had a doctor's appointment, and I got a tetanus shot in lab. So I think I got stabbed like 5 different times today.
Yeah, what you need a tetanus shot for? You just passed due.
They said for babies, when you have baby, that they
Oh,
want me to take the Tdap. So it's like I forget what
I think I
tetanus.
think I think I do recall that.
Yeah, I can't think of all the things in it, but tetanus and pertussis were the big ones in there.
Definitely protesting. I remember. Yeah.
So I got stabbed a whole bunch today, and that sucked. And so I also ate barbecue and ice cream to make myself feel better.
Uh,
But anyway, I've been looking forward to this discussion all day, and well, actually all week. I've been all these thoughts running through my brain to get out. And so, Chris, if you want to get us
oh,
started,
um, I would say I kept maybe the biggest argument we've ever had or biggest disagreement was last week
the
about.
argument sounds so negative. You gotta take it in context.
Yeah,
Steve,
that did keep on my mind. I don't know why, but it stuck with. I was like, what the.
I think it's
What could it
great that
be?
we all have these separate opinions on subjective things and not like
Uh,
philosophically moral political things that don't deserve separate opinions.
Well, in that moment was actually I would say me and Chris, but probably me us against the word against you because you were wrong on that particular thing. But
Yeah. That feels that way a lot. Is that I'll have a weird pun intended because we were talking about My Hero earlier today, but I'll have like a weird quirk about a thing that just doesn't usually translate very well. But it just I don't know. Like it's not the first time. So, Chris, I will warn you. I have probably way more disagreements today.
you probably will, yeah.
Probably will.
And although I'm probably more agreeable, possibly
Okay.
on some things. Just depends on what's what.
Yeah, yeah. But hey,
Uh,
let's find out. Pick up where we left off.
All right. So, previously on Avatar: The Last Podcaster's review of Attack on Titan, we ended up on the arc where we find out that Aaron is the coordinate, which is another name for the founding Titan. But at this point, you just call him the coordinate. He can control Titans. He doesn't know how. Um, they've actually practiced, and Aaron has no idea how to control it. He has no idea how he did control it. So this first part of 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 season 3 is honestly my least favorite part, and I'm
Like
pretty sure it's
everyone's
Sean's least
least
favorite
favorite
part.
part.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the kind of the military political stuff, like especially the first time watching it.
And Armin's not even like present for pretty big chunks.
Doesn't have a
Poor
big
Armin.
role.
Armin or Aaron, or is
They
do we
didn't.
still
Well,
have Mikasa?
Aaron, because then he gets
Aaron,
captured.
Right.
Here it's more about Levi and Angie, in my opinion. Which
Yeah.
I mean, they're great characters.
Yep.
I love Angie. I think it's one of the best.
yes, yeah.
It was creepy, like when she tortured. Like it was like, okay, Angie, chill, chill. But I don't know, it wasn't just great. It needed to explain quite a few things. But it was
It's
a little
interesting you got
boring.
mentioned that because I don't think I realized that. Yeah, this season is like the Levi and Hanji
This first
season.
half of
Like
the season.
Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, first half of the season. Aaron is pretty much nothing. He's most of the time he has his mouth closed and he's chained up.
Yeah.
And then Mikasa is just one track mind of rescuing Aaron, and Armin is also I don't know why he's kind of useless, but like our three main characters are not the focal point. None of them
Mm-hmm.
are at all. Which yeah, it does make the season feel like it drags a little bit. You're just waiting for it to get into something. Um, yeah. So we started off with I want to say um, start off with the military coup. The military, like the high ups and stuff, want to take in Aaron because now they know he's a coordinate. Well, you don't know why they want to take him in necessarily, but I mean, it has something to do with them being tight, and they want to take in Krista, but you're not sure what all that has to do with. Um, they end up there's a pretty cool, not cool, but there's a pretty interesting scene where uh they had a whole plan so to disguise Armin or to disguise Krista as Armin or disguise Armin as Krista and Jean as Aaron to the annoyance of Aaron because Aaron thinks Jean has a horse face, and then poor Armin getting that was gross. It would have been more gross had it really been Krista. Yeah, definitely. Um, but anyway, there's a scene where and Levi. Sorry, let me backtrack. Levi kind of has like an ends of like, hey guys, like we're on the outs, like we're the scouts, and like it's kind of just us, like us seven or whatever. Like don't trust anyone but us, and he told them like you may have to kill people, and so like Attack on Titan has changed from we kill monsters, we're the last bit of humanity to they have to put aside our humanity and kill other people. And maybe that's made easier because Levi finds out, hey, we've been killing people this whole time. Like,
Yeah.
and then again, it's also the kill or be killed mentality, which is kind of the essence of the whole show. Um, so he tells him this, and then they get to a place where Aaron is about to be kidnapped, I believe, with Krista, and and like it's either Armin. I think Armin has the gun pointed at this one lady, and he's like, he might kill her. He has the shot on her, and does he ends up shooting her? Oh my gosh, I forget which one shot who. It was either John shot someone or Armin shot someone and killed them, and they felt bad about it. And Levi's just like, you just have to do what you have to do.
I think it was
Like so,
Sean. I think it was Sean
okay,
that killed
yeah, I
some of
think,
his friends or like some of
yeah,
he
and I think
recruits that were
Armin, yeah, I think Armin hesitated. I don't know. I have to look at the wiki because
nobody remembers that.
Wiki.
Just some other
AOT.
nameless gun fodder.
Oh, well, you're introduced to that lady, but you don't even know her name. Oh, really cool scene. So when all of this stuff happening, Levi gets introduced back to this guy named Kenny, and Kenny is a freaking riot. I don't love Kenny. Some people love Kenny.
I do not.
Kenny's kind of weird to me. But I do love his fighting with Levi. You get to see how freaking resourceful Levi is. Like how he's like he goes to the bar and then he's like he knows that the bartender has a gun because for some reason bartenders are allowed like one gun, one shotgun. And then like the animation of the Levi fight. Oh, and then when like Levi is before Aaron and Krista gets kidnapped, like they're doing kind of reconnaissance or they're scouting above, and Levi is like, okay, if I was this and this, if it's this person, and he's like, holy crap, and he looks behind him, and like Kenny's people are there, and that one girl who's like, I trust in you, she gets shot. Yeah, but that was cool seeing that scene and Levi being like, Kenny.
I think my comment to Chris after this like first episode was something on the order of like, does every anime have to have one character that personifies like the old west cowboy outlaw guy? And I stand by that statement. He's fine. Like he's fine for what he is. It's just he's trying real hard to like fit this trope that isn't a trope that I care too much for anyway.
Yeah. All right. And then good. I have the freaking thing up. Title card. Oh, title card. Duh. Okay, let me go to. It's just easier to. Wait, what season is this? Oh, that's how that changes. Season 3. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so I feel like I'm gonna skim over a lot of this part, a lot of this half of this season, because to me, honestly, not. There's some interesting stuff with like Hanji. There's a lot of interesting stuff of like, if you look back on it in retrospect, it's like, all right, well, was the interior police evil? Like, they weren't.
Like you get to guess, but you don't really get answers, or it almost doesn't merit answer in the show. Like it doesn't. There's not an interesting answer to the question ultimately.
I mean, it's more the leaders that were evil than the police itself.
I mean, they were just to me they weren't. Well, to me, no one's evil in the show except for Marley.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's something we can all agree on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. But like that conversation that one person had with Hanji of like, all right, it's up to you now. You'll have to decide like what to do. Like the ball's like you're in charge now. And then that comes back later when they figure out everything and they're like, oh well, we could just erase everybody's memory, or we could tell them the truth. And like Hanji has to deal with the truth of it. I did like the scene of Hanji outsmarting that guy. Like she made the one prisoner like read off of something, and then she just ended up outsmarting him. He ended up like saying all the information that they needed to know.
Yeah.
And I just like the way she tortures people in like a weird kind of like
sciencey
way. She's like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm not good. I'm not great at torturing people, but I'm a fast learner. Like that's a creepy line. If someone was torturing you and they were like, I'm not good at torturing people, but I'm a fast learner.
See, to me,
like that's just such.
That's a kid who like actually had decent parents and just like a nurture not nature turned out to be a serial killer. You know, like they're motivated, they're ready for critique. Unfortunately, fell down a bad path.
There was a lot of weird, creepy stuff in the first part of this season. Also, the guy that tortured the other guy in that weird chair, to say the least.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Unnecessary.
No, that guy.
I don't know.
That guy's freaking weird. I forgot his name.
I don't know. He died in season 4 anyway, so.
and without like another care to his name. Like he's weird there, and then you don't really have to care about him ever again.
Yeah, he just I think that's like one of the first appearances in the show. I mean, that anyone cares, and he just does that out of the blue because
does some weird.
Yeah, and he said it just
stuff
because he said it because he felt like it because he wanted to do it for a long time, so he did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But please stop.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. On the other things that's happening, again, more political stuff. Erwin gets accused of killing. He went to go talk to this newspaper person, and I forget exact the reason why he went to go talk to him. Maybe because he thought he wouldn't know something because the news people tends to know something. And no, not the news person. He might have just been a businessman. Anyway, that guy ends up being killed by the internal police, but they framed Erwin for it. Erwin gets arrested, and he swears to the guy's wife he'll find out who did it. So there's like political stuff here, and again, first watch, I was not interested in really any of that. What else is happening? You start to learn a little bit more about Krista. Krista talks about her sister. Also, they kind of introduce Ymir, the founding titan, in a little book she was reading.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you didn't. Yeah. So Krista's sister, Dinah. No, not Dinah Reeves. What's her name?
Yeah, not Dinah.
Is it Dinah?
Yeah, she was the founding title, right?
The
blue.
No, I was saying who. Yeah, the blue.
Eyes.
Yeah, whatever her name. I want to say it was Dinah, but Dinah's also the name of.
No, you're right. That's the first Grisha's wife.
Roderick. Frida was her name.
Frida.
Yeah. So yeah, they have a flashback of Frida reading a book to Krista, and it was about Ymir. Because she was like, oh, you should be ladylike, and she was like, what's ladylike? And she was like, oh, probably like this girl in this book, Ymir. It's interesting that she's teaching her about Ymir in a positive manner, when I feel like that family feels so guilt-ridden that they wouldn't be teaching at all about the positive, the actual. Well, I don't know if I would even say actions, but just teaching about Ymir in a positive light.
Well, didn't Frida then wipe out the memory of Historia anyway?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just by kissing her. Yep. All right, so you learn about that stuff, and I'm sorry for viewers if I skim over some of this first part of the season. It's honestly it's a lot of just political stuff.
Stage setting.
Yeah, I would really like if the battle in Shiganshina with a season alone, because that was a great part, which I loved. It was a great battle. I think one of the best. But
is that where the Beast Titans pitching the rocks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a fun battle. Even if it had some of the most frustrating "that person should be dead" moments in one concentrated set of episodes.
I watched one video today about how Reiner, how the scouts won 3 times in that battle, and it's just BS stuff. And this person loves Attack on Titan. They're just like, this is where I was like, what the heck. Okay.
I should clarify too. I find it annoying when it happens, but not on the Chris Shawn, qualm to umbrage scale. It's no, it's pretty low, or nitpick to umbrage. It's maybe one step above nitpick.
Yeah. I feel like I might miss on something here, but I'll just fast forward. Eren gets kidnapped. Krista talks to her dad. Her dad's like, we need to the answer is in this boy. He's chained up. They both touch him. Krista then realizes everything. She gets the memories from Eren that's from his dad by touching him because they're of royal blood. She now sees, and Eren sees, that Eren's dad went and killed the Reese family, killed Krista's sister, took her Titan, and the founding Titan is in Eren. And now Chris's dad is like, we'll turn you into a Titan, and you'll eat Aaron. And well, actually, he doesn't say that. He actually never says that to
She doesn't.
her.
She doesn't?
I don't think he ever. I don't think he ever blatantly says the plan of I'm gonna turn you into a Titan and then you eat your friend. I don't think he ever like explains that fully. He's just like he is the responsible. Like he took your sister away, and pretty much this is how you. I really don't think he ever mentions to her like, and maybe he did off screen,
Of course.
but I'm not sure if he ever mentions like, hey, I need you to eat your best. Well, not your best friend, but your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Then the scouts come up with the plan. I mean, there's some cool stuff in here. Like I like Levi on the run and stuff. Levi is cool. They do different things. With there's this other character that like wants to be honorable and stuff that they get to be on their side. Well, there's several characters that get to be on their side. They also uh, trick the interior police to admitting that they killed the news guy, and then the new news people take over, and then we kind of finally get to the point of like, all right, let's go rescue Aaron. Like, where do we think Aaron's at? They figure it out somehow. I forget how they did. They did. So scouts go in, and they pretty much they rescue Aaron. Aaron, this is probably the most annoyed I was at Aaron, which is might be for some people weird to say, weird to think is that at this point I was the most annoyed with Aaron. I wasn't really ever that more annoyed with Aaron in this half of the season because he becomes like really whiny and stuff, and it's like, oh, my dad killed all those people, like I'm the worst. I'm just like, why are you the worst? Like,
It
sure,
feels
you
like
think your dad did that. This,
it feels like he
but
substituted some of his previous like what we things that he were like those emotions that were sort of fueling his motivation for now just this like the self pity, less
yeah, it's
interesting.
like at one point he's like, just let me die, Krista. And it's like, why? Like, thought you were on a mission.
No.
Like,
Yeah, where
like I feel like Aaron in the future through the past was like, get up. Like, don't you know why you're here? And
No.
like, but
No. He did what he did best all throughout the first 3 seasons. Honestly, they're just such an annoying character. I don't know how you
just
could
be
say
really
that it's
loud
the
and get
first.
mad at stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you could say it was the first time you get annoyed at him because
No, he said just
I,
the most annoyed.
the most annoyed. But
Yeah.
yeah.
well, yeah.
Um.
I gotta say
All
though,
right. So
like,
yeah. So
sorry, Chris.
no, go ahead.
I gotta say, like, I liked the fight down there, like the
Mhm.
whole flying
Yeah.
fight,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
The how like they explain it well how they fought and their tactic, like arming tactic with
Mhm.
the gunpowder, the all the smoke and everything. I feel like that was kind of cool.
That was really cool. Thanks for bringing that up because I was gonna gloss over that. But yeah, that was a really good fight. And the thing about Attack on Titan fights is that they are tension filled. Like you don't because death is constantly a companion almost to them. Anyone can die, and so for them to kind of come out pretty unscathed in this whole thing is probably a miracle, really.
Mm-hmm.
So they fight. They fight Levi, Kenny's folks, and I see what other stuff was I missing? Oh, you find out that Kenny was like a friend of the king before, or the founding titan before it was Frida, and like he really wanted, like he was just enamored by him. And I didn't fully understand why he was enamored by him. More so, maybe it was just because he gave him, he could have killed him,
Yeah.
and decided not to.
What was Kenny trying to kill the king? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why he was trying. I think maybe someone just put out a hit or something. I don't know why they were. I don't know why Kenny was trying to kill the king at first.
Yeah, that was
No,
cool. They trying to like he was trying to kill him. Then the king transformed into a giant and spared his life.
Hmm.
What did he say? I remember it was for something cool, but I don't remember what he said. Like it's not
Yeah, I
your
forget.
time to die or something like that. That was a cool scene.
Yeah. One of the things that Kenny says that really stuck throughout the season, throughout the whole show, is like everyone is a slave to something, and he says that to Levi, and then that really doesn't. That notion doesn't really come up until like later in the show when you talk about Aaron and how Aaron is a slave to freedom, which is such a weird concept in general. Um, but yeah, I kind of get it. Like everyone, I don't think of it in terms of like slavery, but everyone has a vice, essentially, or everyone has something that they're yearning for or calling for. To me, calling it a slave to something is kind of
Yeah.
just too. I don't
Just
know.
like bound to something or an idea or a principle that may or
Yeah,
may not actually be good.
Well, and then
yeah.
they explain a little bit like the Ackermans and how they were this not slaves, but of the king. How do they say it? Like they were
The
bound to
king.
the king.
Yeah.
They explain a little bit the Ackermans and Levi and Kennedy, because Kennedy was Levi's uncle, right?
Yep. Yeah. Kenny is Levi's uncle. Which I mean they explain that,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
okay. Levi faces past trauma with Kenny. Kenny reveals Ackerman's secrets. Well, am I missing anything else before this kind of part gets wrapped up?
Did
Um,
did we already? I missed. Did we already discuss the Titan that the king turns into?
No, that's
nope.
horrible.
I was about to get. Yeah, I was about to get to
Okay.
that. So
Good.
the
Good.
battle. The battle ends. Krista, her dad is like, "Here, take this. Like, take it and eat Aaron." And then she's like, "No, screw it. Like, I don't care if I'm the worst girl in the world. Like, I'm not." She does have a pretty I say memorable. She has a pretty impactful quote where she's where what's Chris's quote? Now I gotta look it up. And I won't look it up. Anyway, she talks about how like she doesn't care if she's the worst girl in the world, essentially. And that quote comes back later when Aaron talks to her uh later in the later seasons. And and she unleashes Aaron, she knocks the thing down, Fritz or Rice, Rod Rice, then like eats the Titan thing because he has royal blood, he turns into like this weird, freaking huge Titan.
It's so
Aaron,
stupid. I hate it so
Yeah,
much.
it's horrible.
no, I think it was well,
It's a
Is
I
horrible
guess I understand.
turn.
he's visually so underwhelming compared to all the other I already forget the word for him, abnormals.
But he's not supposed to be
Yeah,
abnormal.
And
but
he,
like who knows how he would have looked otherwise.
I don't
I
know.
like the signs of so it gets this moment where the whole cataclysm, or whatever it is, chasm is about to fall, and then Aaron takes the thing assigned armor, bites it, absorbs it. He's able to now gain the ability to create slight armor with his Titan form. He saves them, and then they get out somehow. And now, to me, this is the best part of the of the season, where like, all right, there's this huge freaking Titan dragging his face. He's trying to go eat, and like everyone is now like Erwin has been exonerated, and now Erwin is like in charge essentially, and everyone's like, all right, Erwin, what are we gonna do? We gotta evacuate all these people, right? And Erwin is like, no, don't tell them anything. And like, just tell them that this is a test, and we need them all here. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, we just like we just
What have we
usurped
done?
king. Like, I went out on a limb here, and now and we essentially killed the last king, and now you want me just to sacrifice people? And everyone's like, we need him to go for this wall because because they have the reason why they built the wall, like you wonder, like so there's three walls, right? But then there's also these outer zones of the walls. They purposely put people in those outer zones so that Titans would be attracted to them. Um, and also those are like are guarding the weaker parts
The gate
the
essentially.
of the
It's
wall.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a buffer in front of the real gate.
yeah. And so essentially, if you let the Titan come through that wall, it's really nothing. That's just a tiny part of the whole thing. And so yeah, he tells them, don't tell the citizens anything, or just tell them like just be on alert. Tell them that this is a training exercise. And then he's like, all right, I got to gamble here. Like that Titan is really heavy. He's been dragging his face. Let's see if it's open. And then the Titan breaches the wall. I love how the Titan breaches the wall and like the people look up and like, oh no, the Titans are breaking the wall again. And the scouts are just like, all right, let's do this. And like they're just prepping, like, like it's almost nothing to them because
You
they
can
have
hear them
faced,
saying like, "I don't get paid enough for this shit," as they put on their
yeah,
put on their
yeah, oh
gear.
yeah. Then the new scouts because new people joined the scouts or new people signed up to fight alongside, and then they're all freaked out. So all the real the the OG scouts, they're just like, all right, let's do this. And it's like it's a normal Tuesday to them. Like
Yeah.
this is easy facing this thing. And then and so his gamble paid off. When the Titan rises, half his face is just missing. And so he put a bomb right there. Aaron can put a bomb right there, and then explode the nape. And then Krista delivered the decisive blow that everyone saw. To me, no one should know that was the decisive blow, uh, because it's just a chunk of meat that everyone hit a chunk of meat. That's what they were there for. There was like dozens of people slicing every last chunk of meat they could, but
Well,
they said like, "Oh, Krista." I mean, she did deliver the decisive blow, but honestly, how could anybody really know? Anyway,
yeah, but it's cool that it was her. Like
yeah,
it felt right.
yeah. And then, so yeah, so they kill that big, huge Titan. Like I said, I, I don't know, I wasn't expecting anything different, I guess. And like I said, I like the gamble. And also, I don't think I would have wanted the Titan to be like really cool and deadly because that would have taken like another two or
Hmm.
three episodes. We're already got to build up for the real battle to come.
Oh, Chris, can I backtrack for a second?
Absolutely.
How funny it was the scene where you discover that the king was fake. Like they all have that discussion, and they try to
Yeah.
talk to the king, and King's like, "Huh? Is dinner ready?"
As-
It's just it's so stupid. Cause they pictured the king like he was so ominous, so it was back there all serious, and he was just sleeping because it was a fucking stupid guy there randomly.
yeah. I would say this. Oh, one thing I didn't mention before is that we do get introduced through Irwin. We get introduced to this idea that they haven't been telling you everything. That Irwin talked to the guy who he got to be on the side like earlier in his career, where he was like, "Look, this is like," he almost tells him a secret. Like, look at this textbook. This textbook says like there is no life outside the walls. But how do they know? Like the textbook should say, it is believed that there is no life in outside walls. Like this is the actual textbook, and the guy's like, Irwin, it's just the book. It's like, but who makes the books? Like he sounds like a conspiracy theorist,
Yeah,
but
like he was
but it's like
right.
this is all propaganda. And so that's your first hint that there's something more outside the walls. And Sean, I don't know if you
Is that our first hint? Didn't we see something out of like Armin's book earlier?
Well, we knew because at that point we
but
knew
like
of the attack of the two titans, like of the armored, and
No, but
so
yeah.
I even just meant from like our current perceived protagonist's point of view. Like, didn't Armin have that book that talked about the other worlds beyond the sea?
oh wait, he knew there was
Yeah.
something else outside the walls, but he knew there was people outside the wall. Like he
Oh,
talked about the ocean and the lava and the
Yeah.
desert, but he didn't
okay.
talk about people.
That's my brain tried to fill in a gap that it probably didn't deserve to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so, and then like you learn like a couple of different stories about like people, the internal police, got killed, and like someone goes through the list of them. One of them was a teacher who said too much. Oh, that is really messed up how Irwin got his dad killed
Mm-hmm.
because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. But I mean, it's not his fault. He was a kid who's curious and wants to share what his father is teaching. Like it's like his father should have set him down. That sounds father setting kids down in this show leads to nothing good.
Yeah.
Um, but it's to teach them something. Um, but so I don't blame Irwin for that. I'm sure he blames himself for it because he's like a dumb kid got his dad killed. And then they mentioned like a couple with a hot air balloon that were killed and like somebody else. I forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, Krista Krista becomes queen and she punches Levi. I don't know why she punches Levi. I think because I mean, everybody wants to punch Levi.
Yeah.
And like Mikasa tells him that, like Mikasa's like, "Oh, you're the queen now. You can go punch." I like, I like. There's tiny moments where Mikasa has with other people that's not Eren, and I don't know if I would change it to where she has more of those moments, but I do enjoy those moments a lot. Like she had moments with Sasha, um, she had moments with Krista. It's just like kind of these tiny moments that shows that she is more than just Eren's what do the kids call, not simp girl, but anyway, I don't know.
I think, yeah.
Uh,
Although I think I always think of simping as being like super pathetic about it, as opposed to being awesome.
well, she was
Yeah.
pathetic about it. Like, oh no, Aaron, oh no.
But then she
She's cool because
murdered lots of titans in awesome ways to protect him.
yeah.
That's
but then
simping above and beyond. You simp so hard, you're actually good at it.
But then when he talks to Aaron, oh no, Aaron. Or then when someone talks about Aaron to her, it's like, oh Aaron, who?
Always my daughter, I get on her nerves. And sometimes I'll be in the in the dub. I'm sorry, in the sub. The way she says Aaron is such a specific way. It's like Eren,
Yeah.
Eren, arigato, Eren, and it's just all right. That kind of ends that first part of the season. And yeah, I was happy to move on and move forward from that to start their battle to reclaim Wall Maria. All the scouts, the newly formed scouts, I don't know how many there is, but it's a bunch.
Or
It's a
how they
bunch more
successfully
than
keep recruiting these guys.
well, I think this is kind of like they got it's funny because they do keep like they get losses and they recruit more. I think before I think they were kind of down to like morale being really low. Like before they were getting kind of some of these wins, and so now that like the scouts turned out to be like after all the political stuff and through Irwin, they turned out to be like the most noble and like for the people part of the military, and so that probably helped get more people involved. So yeah, so now they're gonna launch, and also now the queen is like was a scout, and so now they're about to launch um their battle to reclaim Walmaria, and I do love that when the scouts go out, like there's a crowd to send them off and cheer them on, and they're all like, oh, "Wow, this is new." And then Irwin like eats it up. Irwin's like, "Ah!" It's like you kind of get hyped yourself,
And
and then it all goes to crap.
yeah, but let's not forget that one of the main reasons they wanted to reclaim World Mario and Shiganshi now, because Erwin really trusted Eren on the fact that Eren said that in the basement of his house was the truth about the outside world. So they were like, okay, let's go to to this basement. And that I remember that like I watched that season 3 when it was released once a week, and they talk about this basement since season 1. It was so much hype behind it, and oh my god, it was incredible.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just all this talk about the basement.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all right, when are we getting back to the basement? Finally, we're trying to get back to the basement, and yeah, they had to because they needed information, and right now they had no information. Yeah, so they start their expedition. they find some signs of Reiner and Bertolt. Armin comes across like the can of coffee stuff that he doesn't know is coffee, which is kind of like a clue of like, oh, like they come from a different place. Like the way he described it was coffee, but he didn't say coffee because he doesn't know what
Called like Morky
coffee
tea or
is.
something.
Mm,
Muddy
yeah,
tea?
Yeah, something
Dirty
like that.
tea or muddy tea? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
he might have said dirty tea,
Dirty tea.
maybe.
It was something funny like that.
Yeah. And then okay, so this battle is gonna be hard to explain. The Beast Titan shows up, and
Oh, you're jumping too far ahead.
am I?
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole thing that they start with their plan, expecting that the Colossal Titan and Armor Titan would do something, and they were like, well, they're not showing up. And then
Yeah.
enemy's like, they're in the walls. How did you know?
Oh, right. Thank you. Yes. So they're like, all right, they're in the walls, and then well, Armin's one is like, I think they're actually in the walls, and they go and they bang on the walls, and then they find Reiner and Levi. This is again Reiner having plot armor. Levi,
Yeah.
who can kill anything,
He's the
doesn't
biggest
immediately
part.
kill Reiner somehow. Somehow Levi cuts him in the neck with a knife that's probably about
No,
5 inches.
he had his knife, the knife in the mouth. Like clearly, he
Was
was
in the
eating
mouth?
it.
Like
He
the
was
whole
eating
this
it.
was
Yeah.
the whole way inside of his mouth. I think that
In the chest.
There's at least 2 or 3 times. I want to say my memory's failing. I want to say there's 3 times where I was like, man, Reiner should be dead. I think this is the most egregious.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think this one is? That's interesting.
I think so. I mean,
But you might
pretty annoying, but there's at least 2 that are blatant. And I was thinking there's even a third time.
Yeah.
It's like he should probably be dead.
I mean, it's very stupid because
Okay.
they get this thing out of the blue where he passed these cautions from the body to the head or the head to the body. And, like, it wasn't a thing before. Why? No point.
It came out of nowhere. That was just like, oh, like Reiner made it sound like it was nothing. Like, oh, I just took my consciousness and put it through my body. It was just like, what the heck? Like,
What does
how?
that mean? And then they're like, see ya. I was like, okay.
And then they use it like probably once again. That thing. It was very random.
And is it Reiner again that does that?
I think so,
Oh,
right?
yep,
When
that's
he
Reiner.
gets attacked by
He pretty much
Eren.
gets he pretty much gets his face blown off, and then he's just like, "Hey, Bertolt, take it from here. I'm just gonna lay face down while I heal. Well, no, not face down, back on, so I can just heal the rest of my face.
So
Because it shows him with like a skin kind of face and eyeballs out, and it looks like Squidward.
Hold on while I get my consciousness back in my regular body.
Yeah. Gosh, that was dumb.
Yep.
Yeah. So then Beast Titan shows up, and then the thing I love about this fight is so freaking good because it's just a game of chess.
Yeah.
Like, all right, because you got Beast Titan versus Erwin versus Beast Titan versus Erwin. It's really the Beast Titan and Bertolt versus Erwin and Armin. Like, who can outmaneuver who? And for the longest time, you think that the Beast Titan's gonna win because first he throws the boulder at the gate, so now they're trapped. They can't get out, and then he just starts hurling rocks, boulders at them. And then you see the Car Titan for the first time, which I paid no attention to at all. I don't know if you guys did.
It feels like I did, but I assume that's because Gio pointed it out to me.
I mean, I think I did because it looked a lot weird. It's like,
Well, yeah,
It definitely looked
because
weird.
it looks like
Yeah.
it could just be a regular Titan that somebody strapped some crap onto. You know what I mean?
and
Yeah.
and we saw
Oh.
the Beast Titan controller Titan, so we
Yeah.
weren't too shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I feel like it might be easier if I read some of the synopsis or summaries. Okay. the Beast Titans sent the smaller Titans and to kill off the Scout Regiment's horses. So that's like a huge thing because they were like, "Oh crap, he's going after the horses, and once he got after the horses, we're going to be stranded here. There's no way we can get back on our ODM gear and stuff like that." Oh yeah, and then it was crazy because one thing, this fight's taking place during daylight, and like they're like, "Oh well, we shouldn't have that many Titans." Which I never did explain the whole daylight thing on why daylight is Titans when come out in daylight. But whatever, not that important. I guess I got it just from photosynthesis type of deal. They said. Yeah, they said that's why. Um, but then like it was such a cool scene of seeing the Beast Titan. Well, all the Titans explode, all the transformations going on because he buried them. Oh, and then if you like replay back the scouts galloping into Shiganshina or to Wall Maria, like there'll be these like pipes up from the ground because he needed to keep them alive. He needs to keep all the people alive before, so he buried them alive, but needed them to get air. So yeah, you'll see like all these pipes and stuff in the ground if you rewatch it. So yeah, and then he turns all of them into Titans, and well, at this point you don't really even know. There's still the mystery of like what happened, or do they answer it right here? They answer it at some. No, they answer it later. They kind of answer, but they answer it like later exactly what happened. All right. Okay.
There's a great fight between Aaron and an armored tyrant.
And
I
yeah,
think that's
and I think
probably one
Aaron
of my
wins.
favorite one-on-one fights of the whole show.
Yeah, and again, it's so weird that Aaron just has Reiner's number. Like honestly, it probably would have made more poetic justice if at the finale it was Reiner versus Aaron and Reiner finally won. Actually, that would have been kind of interesting just from a point of view of like Reiner being. I wouldn't have changed it because it's more. Would I have changed it?
It would have been. It would have been very surprising. Yeah, I don't know. Could have been neat. I mean, it all depends
I
on
just
how
would have
it's
been
framed and stuff, but
yeah, it would have been an interesting dichotomy between the first episode of the Armored Titan coming in to destroy humanity, and now the Armored Titan coming in to save humanity. Just from a viewpoint, but honestly, I probably wouldn't change it because it might be more personal of Aaron versus Armin. All right.
I mean, and then
The
like
scouts.
he does save humanity with Armin and everyone else. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Uh, so the scouts use their Thunder Spear weapons, which is cool to see new weapons. Oh, Shawn, I feel like that was something you mentioned.
Mhm.
You mentioned something like, "Oh yeah, they should have like weapons."
yeah,
And
they
stuff, and I was
they
like,
spent all that time developing like the ODM gear when it would have been infinitely more practical to develop projectile weapons.
yeah.
Like
And
how
then I was like,
history
yeah,
actually
maybe they-
happened and would have been way better in this case. But no, I like the. I already forgot what you call them. Light. I keep wanting to call them lightning rods, but
Lightning spear or something.
Thunder
like that?
Spear.
Thunder
Thunder,
spears.
thunder.
Spear.
Yeah, those. I mean, those make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
We saw this in season 2, right?
No.
No,
that
this
was
was the
the
first.
time.
This was, yeah,
First time
because
for
the
Thunder
thing
Spears.
is, like,
But in season 2,
they
they
were like,
used
all right, how are
spears with ropes to like anchor and trap, but
That
not
was
thunder spears.
first one, season 1, where they dropped
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
the lady giant, whatever, Titan, female Titan.
yeah, yeah. This is the first time they used the Thunder Spears because before that, there's really no way to stop Reiner except for with Aaron as a Titan. And so like Reiner kind of went in with some confidence of like, all right, what can they do to me? And then boom, Thunder Spears. They got him.
Yeah, it should have been
Uh-huh.
that there. Should have been that. That was another time where it was like quite open. And who didn't throw the spear or something?
Don't remember.
Yeah.
So then here comes like one line that's interesting to me. Like Armin's trying to talk it through with Bertolt, right? And this is kind of like Bertolt. Like there was a moment in the previous season where Armin outsmarted Bertolt by like saying Annie's cries and stuff are like loud and stuff. But now Bertolt has like more resolve. He's talking with Armin. Armin's trying to like, hey, let's talk this out. And Bertolt says this, and this is what I will hang. Bertolt says this. He says, "Here's the deal. You all die. All of you die, and I go home. That's the deal." And he was dead serious. He was like, "This is the deal that I will make with you. You all die, and that's it." And Armin's like, "What type of deal is like? What are you talking about?"
Horrible
And like, he was
negotiation
just,
tactics.
yeah, yeah.
He
Or
becomes
maybe
a
it's a great
little
one. You
crazy
just
there.
start. That's like me going to buy a new car, and I'm like, $1. I'll give you $1 for
You
this
walk up to the
brand
car
new
salesman and
2025
you die, and I'm gonna drive this car home. That is my final offer.
Here's the deal. Yeah. Um, you that that seems like a line from a movie of someone trying to steal a car, like a Gone in 60 Seconds. Like, hey man, like you come to the car dealership. Hey, what type of car? Like, let's make a deal. Like, here's the deal. You die, and I take the car.
Deep cut
What?
from Drive. What is it called? Drive Angry, the worst version of Gone in 60 Seconds. Don't watch it. Still Nick Cage.
Oh wow, yeah,
Still stealing cars.
really?
Yep.
Wow, that's funny.
Yep. Just a
So
worse
one thing
Gone in
that
60.
that one quote does, and at first when you hear that quote, you're like, that's not like why are, like you're not negotiating good faith. But because he was dead serious, that's how they were taught. Like they were taught that the whole island needs to die. Like the whole world wants them to die. Um, and so but that's why it's confusing to Armin. Armin's
This framed his entire
like that,
existence.
yeah. uh, so yeah, the all right. So battle continues. The Scout Regiment battles on two fronts inside Shiganshina District. Jean takes over for Armin, which was a terrible job. 'Cause Armin, for some reason, I guess it's just story. Uh, for some reason, like if this was a movie, this would be edited out because it's like, where I've got this part. There's a part where Armin loses his confidence. He's like, all right, John, you take over. And John's like, Aaron, attack the Colossal Titan's ankle. And Aaron just gets like field goal kicked into a freaking wall. And he's pretty much out of commission for a while then after that.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, the scouts are battling the Beast Titan. I realize that they are. Oh, and this is one of my favorite parts. Erwin, the Beast Titan, is just attacking, throwing rocks, and like he talks to Levi like, "All right, like this is the deal. Like we have to go distract him." He pretty much lays down the plan for him of what to do. And Armin kind of has to give up his dream. He's like, I was so close. And then Arwen gives the speech of all anime speeches, the absolute best speech. He tells them like, we have to get on the horses, and we like here's the plan: get on horses, go straight to the Beast Titan, try and blind him with smoke screens and stuff. And they're like, well, we're gonna die. He's like, yep,
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
die.
that's why you're
That's
here.
yeah, that's he's like you can leave if you want. The thing is, we're gonna die anyway. You can leave if you want, but and then he goes on in the speech, and then the as they're all charging through as he's telling his speech, because like things are happening kind of at the same time. They show the speech while also showing them charge through. He does like, because my soldiers doesn't yield. My soldiers push forward. My soldiers rage. And it's like the best freaking amped up thing ever. And then he gets freaking hit with the rock. Like, and he already has one arm from the last battle.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh. And then I want to say it's at this moment that, oh, and then Zeke is like, well, the Beast Titan is like, oh, perfect game. Like, and he's been saying baseball metaphors this whole time. Well, not even metaphors, just baseball. Like, oh, I'm gonna really throw a fastball, or no, this time I'm gonna throw a curveball. Like, he's actually playing freaking baseball with these people's lives.
He's having fun,
And then
yeah.
at the end of it, yeah, at the end of it, he's like, ah, the perfect game, and it's like, what the heck? Like, also you think about baseball, like, okay, baseball, and it's something you don't think about, but like, why is like they don't have baseball on the island? It's just another reminder of things that are kind of clues to the outside world.
This is the first time where the clue to the outside world makes it feel like it's really similar to our own.
Yeah,
Right? Like we know at
yeah,
this point you're probably guessing like, oh yeah, we know there's more out there, but like it could be other titanic continents or whatever, we don't know. But this is the first time I was like, oh no, there's just a literal direct reference to something relatable. On top of the other implications that yeah, like he's just playing a game and killing these people and murdering them, just like a literal game to him.
yeah, yeah. And then he looks over. He's like, "Huh, what happened to my Titan?" And then just all you hear is, and he's like, "Huh?" And then he sees Levi, and then Levi's like, "I got you, son of a bitch."
Just
And
spinning.
then Levi like there's a moment where he's like, "Oh, he's gonna go for my nape," and he guards the nape, and then Levi goes for his eyes instead. Like again, like a chess match happened. Like, oh, you thought he was going for the nape, but Levi's like 5 steps
Yeah,
ahead of you.
which I
And then it
love
flash.
that part. Like that's like finally somebody's thinking bigger picture.
Yeah. Then he
Yeah.
goes for the ankles and
Yes. Like yes, drop him. And then there's a flashback, a quick flashback of Reiner and Bertolt talking to the Beast Titan, and he's like, and they're like, hey, like even though like the Beast Titan just whooped up on the Armor Titan because they disagreed on like what their next plan of action should be. Reiner and Bertolt wanted to go and save Annie, while the Beast Titan wanted to like take Aaron back. They just wanted to sacrifice Annie, and that was fine. And they were like, all right, we'll fight for it. Beast Titan whooped the Armor Titan like easily, like it wasn't even a match for him. And then they're like, afterwards, they're like, listen, before we do this, there's one person you need to, there's one person you need to watch out for, and he's the Ackerman. He's Levi Ackerman, and he's like one person, and then and then it flashes forward to it, and he's like, "This is him. This is the guy."
yeah. That was really cool. That's where the
as
rivalry started.
as he's bleeding out of his eyes.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, he's right. This guy's
yeah,
so good.
yeah. I like how when when he took his eye out, he's like, "Oh, I can't see." Like he's stuck. He's in the dark, and then yeah, then Levi just freaking tears up his Achilles and just rips through his freaking arm. It's just like this. None of this is logical at all that a human being could do it. But I don't. It doesn't matter. It's Levi Ackerman. And then he gets on the nape. He's like, "I'll cut you before you can regenerate." And it's just, and then he shoves him out. And it's like to me that might have been the most glorious moment of like, yes, like we are winning. We did it. Like he did it. He had to sacrifice a whole regiment of people, but he did it. He beat the Beast Titan. Kill him, please, right now.
Right
Just
now,
kill him. I know.
just like Scotty
It's
and
like,
Austin Powers, just shoot him right now in the
yeah,
head.
it's like, please. Just I know you have a plan. I know you need more information. I know part of the plan is inject someone with the Titan serum, turn them into a Titan, have them capture one of the enemies and have them eat them. But just kill him right
I
now.
complained very loudly to Gio and probably through text to you, Chris. I don't remember for sure, but that to
I think so.
like that Levi in that situation, I don't feel Levi would have hesitated in that moment. I don't feel like Levi would be like, you know what, the potential benefits of the science here is worth the immense risk of not just right now. Like I don't think that would
Yeah. They
I
reflect
I mean
his
it is
character at any other time.
So there's the science, and there's also the like, all right, if we capture one of them and turn into Titan, eat them, we will gain their memories. Like Aaron's basement might have nothing, but we can gain their memories of what happened and like all information they know. So it's like it's a reconnaissance mission almost, but even still, I would be like,
I don't think it reflects what Levi's character would have done in that
I mean, he
moment.
follows.
Wait,
I mean,
wait.
he follows orders. He is loyal to Irwin, and that's what Irwin
Yeah,
ordered him to do.
and like
I get what you're saying. Go ahead, Gio.
and having someone eat Titan like that will save their life. And I think you underestimate the relationship between Levi and Erwin. Like Levi was really admiring Erwin, and he was super friends. Like, and maybe he had that hope that Erwin was still alive after all those boulders, which was
Those
true.
Ackermans, man, loyal to a fault.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
are. All right, so he captures him, and then the card titan takes him, and that was like the one I was just like, maybe that one I understood, but I was mad about. I was so on the flip side, they're all battling um the armor titan. Some thunder spear couldn't go, but Hanji, who they think it might be dead, she comes back. She's like, "No, great idea, thunder spear." Mikasa, oh, she freaking lands on Reiner's tongue and does this cool twist, and then she's like, I don't think she says anything BA, but she should. But she
What a
she
missed
throws the thunder
opportunity.
spear. I know, like stuck on this bastard, and then like or eat something. I don't think she says anything. That's not really Mikasa's style to say something cool before
Yeah, that's
death.
fine. That's fine.
And then Reiner gets his back blown out. Pause. No, I'm kidding. Uh, gets his neck blown out. And then it's like, yes, like they got Reiner. Like they defeated him. And then this one where like Hanji, it's like, all right, I'm gonna kill him. Like Hanji's dead set on killing Reiner, and Jean is the one that's like, wait, Hanji, wait, because he still thinks of Reiner as like that big brother, that other scout. But he tries to say like, well, we need him. Remember the plan. Hanji's like, all right, fine. But Hanji was going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then here comes the card titan. That one I was mad about. I was more mad about that one for some because Hanji was about to kill
Okay, that's fair.
him.
But we
And
skipped the
also, I
whole.
think also,
No, you go first, Chris.
I was about to kind of go. Go ahead, go.
Like we skipped the whole cool colossal titan part. Like when it comes to battle, that's really cool when it just
Yeah.
explodes like that, like a nuclear bomb, and how Angie stays alive. I feel okay. Angie staying alive was a little bit of bullshit. I guess that guy sacrificing her, and I don't know
Sacrifice.
if that would really work if you're down in a well during a nuclear bomb. If that would work, I mean, I don't know.
Probably not. Maybe it was
If I
deep
had a
enough.
choice, it maybe wouldn't be my first choice. I, obviously, I would go for the refrigerator
Oh yeah, works every time.
every time. In every Steven Spielberg movie, it works.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was a really cool moment of the Beast Titan launching Bertho in a canister or something, and then the explosion, which is just a big nuclear bomb. So now we're on the Aaron and this fight. This whole battle is so cool because there's 3 different battles going on, and they're all very important. Like if they lose on any one of them, they'll probably die. Like if Levi doesn't take out the Beast Titan, they're probably still gonna die. If they don't take out the armor, they'll probably fine. If they don't take out the armor Titan, but if they don't take out the Colossal Titan, they're dead. So Armin comes up with the plan of like, hey, Aaron, ship. I'm gonna distract him. That's all you hear, really. Um, and Armin, he comes right up to as if he's he comes right up to the Colossal Titan and like just to distract him really. Because right now, Bertho only thinks it's Armin, and he has nothing else to worry about because Aaron is just still knocked out over there. And then Armin just burning up and burning up. And you're like, oh man, this is sad. Like Armin is like just burnt to a freaking crisp. Like all you see is his white teeth, and he himself like starts just turning on like fire of like a blue fire almost, and it's uh, and then he finally like kind of dies. Like the Colossal Titan like expounds everything he could. Like he's skinny now because I guess it's his muscles to let off the steam. And he's like, finally, it's over. He looks over, and Aaron's not there. It's just the crystal. He closed the thing there, and then finally Aaron says something. I think Aaron says like, "Got you back." I forget what Aaron says. What does Aaron say? He says something like, whatever, doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It's just a cool thing to say. And Aaron finally gets the kill on the Colossal Titan that really started this whole thing. He takes Berto out, and then even at this moment, so he has him. He's sad about Armin and stuff, and then here comes freaking the Cart Titan, and here comes the Cart Titan and the Beast Titan, and like the Zeke, I would say Zeke, looks at Aaron. He's like, "Oh, you look like him." And then because Aaron is like, "I'll kill him." Like Aaron's like, "I'll kill Berto right here," and that's kind of a cool moment. And then Zeke essentially like, "All right, I'll let you go this time." And he says something about his dad, like, "I'll save you from your dad's brainwashing."
Yeah.
And at this point you're like, "Oh, so he knew his dad, huh?" And you really have no sense of like any other relation at all. I had no idea what the relation was
You
at this
know very
point.
little of the dad of Aaron at that point. Like,
Yeah.
you get a little bit more when you get to the basement, but that's still after that. So
Yeah.
it was really weird at one moment.
And then here comes the Sophie's choice of everything. Of Oh, I'm sorry. So they do the Mikasa gets there, and she's like, "Oh crap!" And Aaron's like, they see Armin, but he's still got a breath. They shoot the flare. We got a body. Levi comes, he has a syringe, and Levi stalls a little bit, and he's like, "All right, I'll do this." And then out of nowhere,
The most
here comes
annoying
Flock.
character ever.
Here comes
And
Flock.
then, of all the characters that don't die, that should, it's so upsetting.
We talked about it last time or two. Like, he should have died in the under the water when he was attached
Yeah.
to the ship, because there's no way he
They-
survives that.
He should have, and I think it's what we all wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Well
he was
gone, Chris.
committed to the cause.
Committed to the bit, yeah.
Too much.
So then, yeah, get to the Sophie's choice. Shawn, do you have? So they have to decide. Well, no, not they. Levi is just like, I'm gonna use it on Aaron. That's it. And then Aaron, I'm sorry, Levi says I'm gonna use it on Erwin, and Aaron like gets in his face of like, no, you were about to use it on Armin. Like, you need to use it on Armin. Like, we gotta save Armin. And Levi's like, yeah, I stalled a little bit. That's because I thought Erwin might be alive. Like, sure, I was kind of wrong before, but that's mute now. That doesn't matter. Erwin is alive. I'm gonna use it on Erwin. And like Mikasa like gets in. This moment is freaking intense. Mikasa gets in, and she like threatens Levi, holds him at knife. Yeah, this is the most. You can see both sides of the argument here of who should they save.
I think it's safe to say that this was in my top 2 favorite moments of the show.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say most annoying almost. Okay.
What's the first when Aaron uses the other giant as a
Oh, that is
As a
pretty cool.
crash,
That
yeah.
might be the third. No, we'll talk about the other one later this evening. No, like I said, I got very invested in this, but I will say that if it had gone the other way,
Okay.
I would have been in a place where it's like, you know what? No, this show just exists, like just to hurt me for dramatic,
Yeah.
for dramatic effect. And no, I mean, I'm
It
dead
would.
serious.
It.
And that
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for me. That's not interesting to me. If a show is just like, I always call it the HBO drama effect, where it's like, no, we're just going to show the worst possible thing that can happen just because we can,
I,
and people are just going to
yeah.
keep eating it up.
Oh,
And so,
That would definitely be a Game of Thrones type of deal.
yeah, that would have been, and so I absolutely was like, man, if they don't go the right way with this, I absolutely will stop watching this show because it just exists to hurt people for fun, and I got better things to do with my time. But they carried it out great. It was a great like a great debate on the roof. I feel like both those characters should have been dead. Also, while we're on a list of people that feels like should be dead.
That is true. That is, yeah.
I can't complain about the bad guys without complaining about those guys. Both look pretty dead to me.
I guess I could see Erwin being able to survive more than Armin. Although, did he have legs? He might have didn't have legs.
probably not. Armin was horrible. It was just cooked.
Armin was
Yeah,
burned
just
to
like-
crisp.
That guy should be dead, right? Like,
I honestly I would have probably used it, not deciding between the two. Just like, all right, Erwin. It seems like Armin could die any second. Like he might be dead right now
and
while
they're
we're
just
talking.
having a
Erwin is probably still alive. I probably would use on Erwin just of the probability of it working on him being higher.
I gotta say, it was so funny. We watched that scene with Shawn because he was going crazy. Like literally said, he was like, "No, Levi, you know what Erwin would want you to do. Don't save Erwin, save Armin. Okay, if you don't save fucking Armin, if Armin fucking dies now, it was so great. It was so funny.
That's the other part too. Is that I think that Levi would have known what Erwin wanted him to do. But there, can we go back to the consistent
The stuff.
Ackerman trait?
No.
Erwin would have wanted Armin revived,
Yes.
and Levi probably would have known that. But would he have done it without the final nudge?
I do think they made the. It's weird to say. When we had this conversation, I think towards the end of last time, but I'm not sure we recorded it. I think that was the right choice to make in the moment. I think Erwin, because Erwin was set on learning the truth, and that's kind of all. Like, he had no real ambitions outside of that. His real ambition was just, I want to learn the truth of this world. Armin was like, I want to go learn about this world and like go across the sea. And like Armin had more of a mind that like there's something after learning about the world, while Erwin was like, I don't know what I want to do after that. But I do think there was I think if Erwin survived, he would have been better at being the scout, the leader of the scouts, and being able to create alliances. He would have taken bigger risk to try and secure Eldia's place and stature in the world.
Like better, larger scale military approach that might have preserved the status quo.
Yeah, and I think Hanji played it so safe that Eren, by a certain point, is just like, they're gonna eat me. like Eren is like, one thing, I only have so much time left, and like you guys are kind of sitting on your thumbs, like I can't even leave this to you because you really have no real resolve to do anything. I feel like Erwin would have positioned them in a way that maybe it wouldn't have led to Eren having to have no choice left but to do the run.
That's fair.
I think I mentioned it before. I think that there was that's a tall task to go. I think there was probably a 20% chance that Erwin could save 80% of the world, and there's an 80% chance that Armin could save 20% of the world.
feels reasonable. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would change anything, even like that big picture, for me of what should have happened in the moment. But
Yeah,
I said
yeah. In the
at least a
moment,
better chance
yeah.
of just preserving the status quo prior to or instead of basically everything that would happen from that point on.
Yeah. And then all right, so Armin turns in. Oh, it's so freaking weird too. Armin turns. They turn him into a Pharaoh Titan. He goes to eat Berto, and Berto's like crying at them, like, "Ah, you saved me!" And I'm like, "No, screw you,
Yeah.
Berto.
Yeah, it's
Like,
zero sympathy.
no, yeah, no, put some salt and pepper on you.
He could have been one of the putties
Better."
from the Power Rangers for all I cared. He just do whatever you want to do to that guy.
Yeah. All right. This episode, the basement. They finally. Oh, Armin wakes up. And one thing, he has no freaking information anyway. Like honestly, I don't think they got that much good info and memories from that was useful to use. That was like more useful than the notebook that Grisha left. The
Yeah.
notebooks.
Do you think Armin
Essentially,
got
Armin just
from Bertolt was the love for Annie?
exactly, yeah. Bet the most thing he got was a crush on Annie, which I hate, to be honest.
Oh, why? They
I
were cute.
because Annie is a serial killer.
What? Yeah, that's true.
Armin,
She
she's a
was
Also,
she was
sadistic
does Armin really
serial
like
killer.
her, or does he just like formulate this connection in his brain because he's talking to a face that can't speak for itself? You know what I mean? Like,
But also he's influenced by Bertolt's crush on Annie. And it's like, all right, well, what?
honestly, I didn't even pick up on that, but it didn't.
Oh yeah, that made it pretty evident. Like there's times where like I think maybe Aaron calls it out. If
Yeah.
Aaron's like, why are
When at the
you?
table, that the very important thing when it
Yeah,
just shows up.
No,
It's
he's
like,
like,
hey, hey.
he's like, you've been
no, but
visiting. Yeah,
the idea that Armin would like inherit that, I guess.
yeah,
Anyway,
they mentioned it
yeah.
because Aaron's like, is that Bertolt like in your head? Like, why are you visiting Annie so much? Um, but they mentioned they hinted towards that of that's one of the reasons why it could he I guess you don't know. He could genuinely just have a crush on her from his own. They did have a lot of interaction and stuff. But it did seem like it picked up after he became the the
Colossal
Colossal
Titan,
Titan.
yeah.
All right. So they finally go back to the basement. And of course, they do one final misdirect at the door doesn't work and the key doesn't go to the door. And then Levi just knocks it down. And they look around and stuff. And then eventually they find a secret little compartment on the desk. And they find the 3 notebooks. And then it starts off. I love how this episode ends. Because like they're reading Grisha's writing and like just the way it's my favorite outro. It's like da, 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 and like it plays out as he's doing this. Is like because Grisha's notebook reads like everything changed that day, and like you see the flashback to Grisha. He has an armband. And you're like, oh, okay, I know world history. I know exactly what this is referencing.
I've played video games.
How cool this conversation would be if like if Gio was from Germany instead. Although in Germans, this sounds weird to say. In defense of Germany, they were very adamant about learning from their lessons. They completely banned anything to do with Nazi propaganda, anything to do with like it is very very illegal to have Nazi stuff in Germany. Like it's it is like they are like we were bad.
They
Like
they took notes.
they they kept their receipts and they kept it while we're like oh fighting for states' rights and it's like gosh um, anyway okay so yeah so you get the flashback to Grisha uh and I can actually explain this off the top of my head he wants to take his sister's looking up at the blimps He's like, "Come on, let's go out," and they go outside the walls again. Just that term, going outside the walls, because they're in an internment camp, and this is the saddest freaking story. His sister gets brutally murdered by dogs. I think that's all they did. I believe that's all they did, which is weird to say. Um, and like he does get punched. He takes a punch from this guy. Um, and then like the police go and tell the parents of like, oh well, you should have taught your kids about like their heritage and how they're the scum of the earth and they're the spawn of the devil. And then his dad sets him down and teaches him like, oh no, well we were this and like Ymir made a deal with the devil and stuff and he's like, what are you talking about? Like she was just here, she did nothing. Why did she die? So freaking sad. And then you kind of go through the story of Grisha becoming becoming not a warrior, becoming a patriot, as they call him. He he oh he kind of stops his. There's a while there where he kind of stops his drive for vengeance. Oh, let me pause for a while. Sean, and Gio, how did you guys feel when you found out that like the world was bigger than like there was a world outside and like full of people? You see a car, you see technology, you see blimps.
I want to go first, and I want you to. This is just my gut reaction. This is not a prolonged or thoughtful reaction. My first reaction was sad that it was just kind of a normal.
Oh,
It
okay.
was kind of a normal world. Like
Yeah.
some of the fantastic charm became just in the moment became a little lost. That was just my gut reaction.
Okay.
For me, I didn't expect it to be a modern world. Like, I didn't think the people inside the world were behind, you know? I thought everyone were at the same level, and I didn't expect him to be that crazy. I was like, it really took a dark turn, you know? You don't really expect, wait, what? Where are we now? 1945? What happened? Just out of nowhere, you know? It was,
Yeah,
that
they
was the
took
thing. That
this.
was kind of random.
Yeah, they took this fantasy world of fighting giants and just put it into our world. Like sure, there's different names of countries and stuff, but we know when we see concentration camps and yellow armbands and stars on
They
them,
didn't even try to
what
hide
it
it,
is.
honestly.
Oh no, no, it's blatant. Like this is, and that's so crazy. This show started off being The Walking Dead, but with giants. And then it's just slowly transformed into this history lesson, this philosophical. Well, it turns into this history lesson and morality, and then it later turns more into a philosophical kind of debate of like kill or be killed kind of things.
That's a
But
nice
yeah,
description of
I
like
was
yeah, seasons 1 or 2 is Walking Dead, season 3 is history lesson, season 4 is philosophy lesson.
yeah. Season 4 is the good place. Trolley problems. Should I kill? Yeah. Should I
Turns
kill
out
this one
everyone yeah,
person or
turns out
these five?
everyone
Should
is
I
in
kill this one?
hell. No, it turns out everybody is in hell in season 4.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I think I was surprised. That was one. I don't know how much more content. We'll probably not do that much more content about this show. But if I had to like rank all the twists in the show, that wouldn't be number one. It'll probably be like top three twists of like, oh, there's a whole world and it's the world. Like it's
Yeah.
the world we're pretty much in.
That's I
Like
mean, it
if
definitely
they were
was
like, hey, Germany is Marley, that would be kind of crazy.
I said
This
sad.
one thing this show.
I didn't say it's very surprising, but I mean, that's very like it's not at all what I expected, which hence the disappointment. But it was not at all what I expected to see. I expected to see
Yeah.
just some kind of high fantasy, completely fictional.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very unexpected. Except for the baseball part. I'm gonna go back to the baseball part and say no. That was like the one thing is like this so parallel, so
It,
normal.
yeah.
You see,
It's almost so American
Yeah,
because like yeah.
yeah, that was the thing that I didn't get. Like, okay, I wasn't stupid. I knew what baseball was before coming in America, but I didn't really
that's fair.
care
Like
about
this
it too much. Like, it was pitching
baseball
baseball.
is distinctly
Okay,
not European.
yeah,
Like
he was.
Japanese, South
For
It is
American,
for
Asian.
me, it was
Asian.
straight
Yeah,
rocks. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
everything
Asian
but
Central
Europe.
America and America.
So
Yeah,
I don't think it's big.
I really
Cricket's
like when
bigger in
you
Africa.
got
probably,
a
probably so.
you got to instantly like, oh, he was
Because he
playing
had a wind up.
baseball.
Like even before he said the word, he had a distinct wind up.
Mm-hmm.
And by
Yeah.
this point, you're
Yes.
3 seasons into the show, and you're at least I'm trying my best to pick up on details. And I was like, all right, that feels on purpose. So maybe I guess my point is I shouldn't have been so surprised, but I was.
Yeah. Yeah. That baseball windup, it really is an official baseball windup.
Yeah, they animated the shit out of the Beast Titans wind up.
Yeah. It was like.
Not for nothing.
I wonder if it was made in America, it would have been just beside
Like-
one of the kicked rocks. It would have been a soccer wind up.
That overhead throw it.
Oh yeah, pam, kill 20.
Did both of his feet stay on the ground?
All right. Yeah. So, we kind of go through Grisha's life. We learn more about him. He joins a group of restorationists who wants to bring back the um, the Eldian Empire, and we do know that like I forget if we get the sense that like all the Titans. I forget where we actually realize that
We
everyone
know
on the
here,
island.
or really close to here,
Yeah,
that Titans are Eldian. I don't know about like maybe not with the
that's
absolute,
right.
but like Titan or Eldian are in like that's tied.
I mean, when
They
they
mentioned it, I think,
explain,
in one of the. I think when Grisha's dad, it's like the king took his people and went to paradise. I think that's when we kind of learned that, like, all right, like that's what Eldians are. That's like they're all Eldians on the island.
Mhm.
All right, so he joins our restoration group. He then meets Dinah Fritz. She is so overtaken by his by his stuff. Like her, never mind.
One thing that I don't like is just, oh yeah, just accept the fact that she has royal blood. She came out of nowhere. Like, what?
Yeah,
She has royal blood. Like, isn't that important? How she did end up there? But yeah, she just is. That's
Royal
kind
Royal
of.
bloodline got busy somewhere along the line.
It's like, but how
Yeah.
did she know? Like, they just kind of leave it there. I don't like that.
that is true. Like, yeah, that is interesting that I thought about too. Like, all right, how can we take this at face value that she is? And like, yeah. All right. Then they get married. They have a son. They put him in this warrior program to infiltrate Marley. So pretty much they have him just to be a weapon or just as a tool. Yeah, just as a tool, really. And that's the thing with like kids and Marley. And a lot of that might just be it's not necessarily something that happens on the island, but in Marley, it is a constant thing of parents having kids just as tools. Like Annie's dad really isn't her dad. Like that's her adopted father. He adopted her, trained her just so she could become a warrior candidate and he can get a better life.
Mhm.
Same with Reiner's mom. Like she wanted to get a better life also. So when he when he became a warrior candidate, she thought, oh yeah, run and live it up type of deal.
Oh, but Annie's dad was smart because before she went, he was like, "Oh, actually, I love you, so please come back."
Yeah,
that
that was.
was bullshit too. Come on.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a pretty that was kind of an annoying little abusive relationship thing.
yeah.
I love you. Nope. Screw yourself.
All right. Zeke betrays them for some reason. At this point in time, you don't know why he betrays them. He just betrays them. Oh, and you do find out that Zeke, that's the relation that he has with his dad. Is that Zeke is Aaron's brother. Da, da, da. So then he turns them in, and then the police ends up like capturing all the restoration movement. They turn some of those people into pure titans, which if you're paying attention, you're like, oh, even when they're just people and they're talking, you're like, that guy looks familiar. That guy looks familiar. You're like, oh, holy crap, are they the Titans? And they confirm by turning them into Titans. And you're like, oh, there's a Santa Claus Titan. There's the weird kind of
Stupid Santa
Bob
Claus one's
hair
like the
Titan.
only one that I actively picked up on.
He did
Yeah.
not see the smiling teddy, so like the Santa Claus.
Nope, just the Santa Claus one.
Oh, you didn't notice the smiling thing?
I give it
Yeah,
like
he
I
did.
stopped and I was like, "Do you see something?" Like, oh, I've seen this is something that I know, but
No, what I
Not cool.
probably said was, I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of
Santa
Titans.
Claus. Holy, he's like, holy crap, it's a Santa Claus Titan. What a twist.
That's what it felt like.
That was, that was the Titan that ate Aaron first. Can't believe it. And it's like, wait,
So
but
connected.
Shawn, there's there's the smiling Titan right there.
Forget about it.
That is an interesting moment of her being like no matter what form I take, I'll find you, and which makes me mad about the end of the show because when they said that, and this might just be Isayama changing his mind, because when they said that, that alluded to that Dinah was so inside the Titan that she directed herself to find Grisha. That's what took her there, was that connection to Grisha. That's why she ended up eating Carla. Was that she was like, I will, no matter what form I take, I will find you.
That's petty jealousy at
But-
its finest.
I know, right?
That's a different type
I
of
mean-
revenge,
Yeah,
man.
That's cold.
She's like, listen, I can come back if I eat this human being. I mean, she didn't control it, but just instinctively. So when they rewrote it, sort of in a way of like, no, Aaron sent the Smiling Titan to kill his mom. One thing I don't like that for multiple reasons. It takes away Aaron's reasoning or motivation. I know they might be like, well, it takes away Aaron's agency, which takes away his freedom. That's kind of the whole point of it, is that Aaron is a slave to freedom. He's kind of stuck in this thing. But I didn't, that out of the whole show, and we'll get to it, but out of the whole show, that thing that makes me the most mad, that thing is bad writing, is having Aaron be the one to set everything in motion to go kill his mom. Like,
But I mean, he learns it like a lot later, so that still is its motivation. He didn't know that he did it, because then all the
yeah, but even
the time traveling shit, that's bullshit. We all know it.
but yeah, that part I hate that writing, and it's just because it's one line that's not needed at all, and it just makes it worse. All right,
Because
So, yeah,
it's a
she
throwaway,
becomes-
right? Like if it's so unnecessary that it only does harm.
So anyway, they find out who the owl is because they had like a person inside. He ends up killing the one fat guy who killed Grisha's sister because he throws him off, and that Titan eats him.
And randomly
And
enough,
then
the owl was like the guy that beat up Grisha when they got out of the wall.
Yeah.
It was kind of random.
Yeah, and then like Grisha has, there's an interesting conversation that Grisha has with him when Grisha's like, "Oh, you're supposed to be helping me? I didn't realize that. Having you took off each of my 10 fingers," and like he has just nubs for hands, which is a weird, freaking like just it does remind me of when Aaron just had nubs like in the previous season. But anyway, turns out to be the owl. He turns into the attack titan. He then like takes off the ship, kills everybody there, and then he sits down with Grisha and tells him pretty much like, "Hey, here's the deal. Like, I need to give you." What all does he say? He says,
It says one thing that's pretty cool.
"What?"
He says one thing that's pretty cool. He says, "Oh, you have
Oh yeah,
to
at the end.
save. You have to
Yeah,
save
yeah, yeah.
Armin and make."
Um, yeah. So he talks about how the king on the walls like is going to do nothing essentially. Like if people attack, it's just a bluff. Really, he tells Grisha that he pretty much tells Grisha's like, this is what you need to do. Like you need to infiltrate the walls. Um, you need to get a family. Um, and then he tells him like, all right, you only got like, I'm about to die anyway. Because he's like, oh well, why don't you just do it? He's like, well, I'm about to die. My 13 years is up. Um, and then he tells him like about the Attack Titan. He's like, my Titan, like all the 9 Titans have like different abilities. My Titan's called the Attack Titan, which the way Aaron said, like in Japanese. So the title Attack on Titan, or what's the official title of Attack on Titan? I forget what it is. Um, whatever. But it can be pronounced as Attack on Titan, or it can be pronounced Attack Titan. And so when he says in the Japanese sub, he's just saying the title of the show, which is kind of cool. It's like, oh, they said the thing. Like, oh, the show is called Attack Titan. It's not necessarily called Attack on Titan, or you can read it as either way. And that's kind of cool moment where he goes, like, it's called the Attack Titan. And Hanji is like, what are you doing? And then you find out that they're in like prison because they disobeyed orders. Um, and then they kind of flash. I forgot when they flash back to it, but just to wrap up the uh, the Aaron Kruger storyline. Yeah, like you said, Gio. He says like you have to save Armin and Mikasa. And then Grisha's like, save who? He's just like, I don't know. That was someone else's memories. Which at the moment, I didn't know what the heck to think about that. I had no idea I didn't know if it was just a creative choice. Honestly, one I enjoyed the show because partially of my stupidity, and I wasn't trying to solve everything. I was just like, that makes no sense. Maybe that'll come back. I won't think about it too hard, and then later on, I'll be shocked by something. Oh, okay.
I like the how he said it.
Well,
Like he was very emotional. Like he believed in it
yeah.
100% without knowing what he was talking about, and he was also crying. I don't know. It was. I really I really like the scene. Not. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
I do like the scene. Feels like a decent time to point out that I pretty much hate all things to do with time travel in any medium in narrative story ever. And also, coincidentally, not hugely fond of like memory manipulative type things.
That's where it gets
bad.
most confusing. Attack on
There's a
Titan, I
bad
think.
cross. So there's certain parts that I like how it's used there. It's just another one of those things. It is just a storytelling device that I typically hate. The worst Harry Potter, the third one, 100%.
It's funny the time travel in the show, and real quick,
I know
shout
calling
out.
it time travel also isn't fair, right? But like it is. It's not, but it
Well,
is.
yeah, basically it is.
Yeah. Real quick shout out um, to one of our viewers who was very adamant about us reviewing this, Jake Schwartz. Even when we were talking about reviewing this, he asked like, "Hey, when are you guys going to actually review it?" And I was like, "Oh, probably coming up." But he did have a couple questions that, or like, uh, that we would talk about. He asked if we were going to He says, oh, he did say, been waiting anxiously for this for weeks since I finished AOT. Hopefully, I didn't spoil anything for you, Jake, on the podcast. That I might have spoiled for Shawn, because I'll talk about Attack on Titan every now and then. He said, "We love multiple more, but also love that you could talk about the time travel aspect, overall story at some point, about just how it all holds together. Because I feel like the overall plot has always been slightly confusing by the end with time travel. And I don't know, we can talk about it right here, because or no, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later when we get into like the bigger
The
ramifications of time travel.
Yeah, or that one
Yeah.
particular moment that's kind of touching and powerful, but is still time travel-y.
Yeah. But when like I said, so did you guys think that time travel was a thing when he mentioned Mikasa and Armin's name?
I was so on my toes at this point that when he said that, I don't know. I was not at all thinking about like being like a time travel so much as just all right. There's some kind of underground nonsense going on, some kind of witchcraft going on here. Like that guy knows these people are in a
okay.
literal way. I believe that.
Yeah.
Some kind of shenanigans. So I'm going.
But we knew at that point that one of the power of the Attack on Titan was that he could see the future memories of other.
I don't think they
he could
mentioned
see
it.
future
at
memories
this-
or just memories.
No, I say the future,
think-
like
I
the,
think-
the memories of the future Attack of Titan possessors or whatever you want to call them.
At this point, they mention I think only past memories. I don't think they at this point in the story pointed out that the Attack Titan can see future memories, because that comes as a twist like later on. Like it's like to me this is like a hint. Like he just says, "Oh, that's someone else's memories." He doesn't say like, "Oh, that's future memories." He's just like, "That's just someone else's memories."
Yeah.
As if like
Well, because he doesn't
some
know.
past Attack Titan, huh?
Well, because even he doesn't know, right? He didn't know which
Yes,
direction
yes.
it's coming from.
Yeah. Which I have a theory that, and this might not be true, but that the Attack Titan really doesn't have that power. That Eren just has that power and can use it, because no other Attack Titan utilizes the power to see future memories except for Eren. But I think Eren can only
Well,
do that.
Grisha
because he-
does.
But and the guy that
No,
said,
Grisha doesn't.
Well, yeah. When Eren.
No.
Yeah, because
When
in the most important moment of it. Because he
When
sees
are you saying when he?
when he sees Eren, and he's on
Yeah,
the
but
ground.
Eren. That's Eren showing Grisha that. Like Eren can control. Like Eren controlled that. It wasn't like Grisha being like, "Let me go grab Eren's memories." Eren implanted those memories into Grisha to show him just what he wanted him to see, enough of what he wanted to see in that moment to go do what he needed him to do.
I always saw that as Grisha sees them there because he sees the memory of Eren, and Eren is there because Zeke brought him there. So he's basically seeing the memory of Eren being there, and then at that moment, like he sees himself in the memories of Eren. Like that's always I've always seen it. I haven't thought about it. Like, you know, that's the moment where in my mind, Grisha uses his power, this power of seeing the future. You know, the memory, the future memories. It's so confusing. They could have done something better.
Yeah, I read it. I read it as Eren specifically gave Grisha those memories of Eren.
But I don't think it could do
Eren,
it.
Eren has memories of seeing that, because he says like Eren, because Grisha when talking to Zeke is like, Eren showed me this and showed me that. Like Eren's going to be the only one that gets what he wants, which means to me that means like Eren is deliberately, and also he's like, Eren, you only showed me this and you only showed me that. Like why are you not showing me everything?
I think like he can control what memories of Eren he can see. You know. I don't know.
Like that.
I think all of this brings into question another thing, which is that if your former protagonist slash maybe current antagonist has some visibility into the future, like how much does he have, and is this really how he would behave in this situation if he was looking ahead or if he had any ability to see beyond a certain point? And yeah, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm anti time travel in general.
I love time travel. I mean, the thing is that there's never going to be a time travel story that makes sense.
The
It's
closest
impossible.
one, hear me out. The closest one I've come to enjoying. Chris, any guesses? We've talked
Okay.
about it before.
Ooh, the closest time travel story
Closest to
I mean, there's so many
like
time travel stories
liking how it
that
pans out and enjoying.
Star Trek maybe.
No, Days of
Uh,
Future Past.
oh, Days of Future Past. Yeah, I like Days of Future Past.
I think they do a really good job
In
of
fact,
hitting
I like.
that will come
In
to
fact,
again in this show of that. How does he describe it? Like you throw a rock in a pond and it makes the wave, but the stream ultimately continues on.
Yeah.
And I think they do a
Oh,
really nice
yeah.
job with it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that quote, but now I'm remembering it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they handle time travel pretty well. But
that's as
then
close as I've enjoyed time travel.
yeah. Um.
Solid movie.
Yeah, and here they don't. Here, there's so many grandfather clauses in this one that it's
Yeah.
yeah. All right, they learn the truth. This is big battle won by the scouts. There's only seven scouts left. Um, and they get medals in that moment that they get medals in a ceremony and stuff. Flock fights with Aaron and stuff. It's interesting to see that fight and then to see how that season starts between Flock and Aaron. Complete 180 there. Um, and then they have the medal presentation. They kiss. They each of them kiss Krista's hand, and Aaron kisses her hand, and he just sees everything. And they're like, "What the heck is wrong with Aaron?" And his eyes are just like buggy because in that moment he saw absolutely everything and how it was going to unfold because he touched Krista's hand.
Yeah.
He also realized like why he pretty much realized everything in one split moment.
That's where it changed, basically.
Yes, that's exactly where he changed. You know, it would be interesting.
But
What
did
if
he
he just
change to
never
avoid
touched?
what he saw? Like to try to prevent what he saw? Or did he change to try to fulfill that as a destiny?
Fulfill his
He
destiny.
well, he I think he changed because he knew there was no stopping it. Like that ruined Aaron on multiple levels. Of like one, he did have to dissociate with them, um, and also like I said, he saw no other way. There was no. It was he was looking at facts and of like I'm going to kill the world. I'm going to do all this. And he saw it all, and it was he saw the whole world, and he's also like, and it was like crap, like, and then he saw himself killing it all, and he was saddened by that. So yeah, he just slowly became. I think just they say that he went through kind of like I don't know scenarios, something just like it all like there's no stopping it. So yeah. So then you start off the new season, the season, the final season. And oh, any thoughts on season? I guess season 3 before we continue on.
Well,
Let's see.
there's the end scene in season 3 where they go to the beach. It was kind of cute.
Yes,
And then
thank you. That was great.
the enemies are over there.
Yeah, if we kill all of our enemies across the sea, will we finally be free? It's just like, holy crap, the Aaron, like they're enjoying the sea for the first time. You hit them with this deep
Dog, you just let him
question.
have a
Chill,
moment.
dude.
Yeah, but I mean, but he's right. He's like what's the cost of freedom? Like, okay, we took over the government, and now we know. Like they, I didn't mention also that they found out all the information. They decided to share all the information with everyone. Some people don't believe it. Some people are like, So you're telling me that like Titans was the least of our worries, and then the whole world wants to kill us, and like we gotta prepare for that. Um, yeah. But yeah, then Aaron delivers that line of like, I go to my daughter, I'm like, if we kill off, this was a weird thing to say to my daughter, if we kill off our enemies across the sea, will we finally be free? So to me, that's an iconic kind of line,
Yeah.
and them being like, what? But thank you for bringing that up. All right, season 3. Let's see how we do. Season 3 starts off with Marley.
Season 4.
Uh, sorry, you're right. Season 4, part 1. Final. This is how I describe it. Final season, part 1. Season 4, part 1. A new world, or not a new world. Anyway, it's the Marley arc. You start off 4 recruits. You get a quick sense of who they are. You got a smart guy. You got a girl who's, I don't know, maybe crazy. And then you got Gabby who's gun ho, and then you got the heart of Falco. Um, this threw me all the way off the first time watching. I was like, I have no idea what's happening. I don't know if this is the past. I don't know if this is the future. I don't know if this is the present. I don't know what's happening.
I'm pretty
Which
sure
is an
that
interesting
when I
concept.
watched it, I checked if I clicked on the right, and I was like, "What am I watching?" And it was all like
Yeah.
the new mappa, which I loved how they did everything. I know a lot of people hated it, but I love mappa, and it was all so
Yeah,
different.
absolutely.
So it was like, "What am I watching?"
I thought future. I thought big future. Like in my mind, is like, oh, it jumped a couple
Oh,
centuries.
okay. Okay.
Obviously, I was very wrong.
We jumped 3 years, I think. Maybe
Okay.
5.
3 or 5.
I
It
forget.
was an odd
I
number.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always some odd numbers. Never a good, solid, even number. Jesus didn't rise on the 4th day. I'm kidding. I don't know
Little Easter humor there for you.
why. Yeah. Okay. Um. So these new recruits are in this battle with the Allied forces against Marley. You get if you pay attention, and honestly, it was hard to pay attention the first few because I'm just like trying to hold on and figure out what's going on. I didn't really pay attention until that was happening. The It's not that I didn't pay attention to so much stuff. It's just kind of you're getting bombarded with new information and new people, and so like this is Marley. Marley uses Eldians as as pretty much soldiers and slaves. Um, they're fighting against an allied force, like almost the whole world. I won't say they're the Eastern Allied Force. Maybe that's what they're called. That they're fighting against Marley. Marley barely wins this war. They got on their team Reiner, who looks a lot older. Zeke, who just sends down people to their deaths, which is really messed up, and just lands them on people to kill.
Yes,
And they
this
end
is
up
so
winning that
tricky to
battle.
figure out of like how which parts of this are for show and which parts of it is he actually just kind of an insane person.
Yeah. Um. They They then win. Marley wins the battle, and then kind of just summarize. They're like, "Yeah, we barely won." Like, They say it. They say like the military powers and armies of the world have advanced to a certain point that Titans are almost obsolete. And then they're like, well, we wouldn't be obsolete if we had the founding Titan, right? We could do a lot of stuff with the founding Titans. They're like, all right, well, since we're done with this war, like all since they so since Marley has started this expedition to reclaim the founding Titan the first time, they have lost the the Jaw Titan once, and then they got it back. They lost the female Titan. They lost the Colossal Titan. And so, like, the other world armies are like, oh, they're weak right now. They're weakened right now. They lost, like, 3 of their 7 Titans. How many Titans? I think they have 7 Titans.
9?
Maybe 4. Well,
But how
there's 9
many
Titans
they
in
have,
total.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
One Titan, yeah. I think Marley had 7 because they didn't have. No, they had 6 because the Tyra family which technically runs Marley, has the Warhammer Titan, and then the Attack Titan is
Empire,
like just
yeah.
kind of a free person, and then the Founding Titan. So yeah, so Marley has lost two Titans because they lost the Colossal Titan and they lost the Female Titan. So other and like Titans is pretty much their whole army. So now other countries are like, okay, well, we can go and attack them. They did. They had a whole war about it. Marley barely won that war, but also it came at a cost of like, if we have another war in a couple of years, we'll probably lose because technology is catching up. Um, and so now they're like, well, we gotta go reclaim the Founding Titan, and that's the reason why they're gonna go reclaim the Founding Titan. Didn't wasn't anything noble about it at all. So you meet a couple of different people. You meet this. I wouldn't say you meet. You see this uh, handicapped vet who's suffering some mental issues. Talking to Falco. Falco's a good kid. He's like just showing him the ropes stuff. And did you guys realize that that was Aaron, like early on?
I didn't.
I didn't either. That's why I love being kind of dumb. I'm like, I didn't know that was Aaron until right before Falco's like, "Oh, I want to, Mr. Bryan, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine that says he knew you." I'm like, "Oh, that was Aaron." Oh, okay. Well, no, I think I've realized. No, I realized it earlier than that. I realized it when he went to go talk to his grandpa. Like I barely realized it. Actually, did I realize it then? Anyway, later in this season, Aaron goes to talk because Aaron's at the hospital, right? And Falco talks to him a lot, and then this guy comes over to talk to Aaron, and this guy's like, "Hey, if I were you, like that little boy is trying to become a warrior, and like if he's sending stuff out for you, like he might people might take it the wrong way, and then his family might get hurt and stuff." And then Aaron is like, "Oh, did you have a family?" And then the old man is like, "Oh," the old man was like one thing. He's like, "Oh, I'm a doctor." And then Aaron is like, "Oh yeah." And you think that the guy is sitting next to Aaron is a doctor at the hospital. And then Aaron is like, "Oh, did you have a family?" And the guy's like, "I did. I had a daughter." And he just goes crazy. He's like, "Ah!" And then like they show flashbacks of Grisha's sister being killed. And he like, "Oh, that was Aaron's." Because they call him. They say, "Oh, Mister, uh, like get Doctor Yeager and stuff," because he's a patient at the hospital. And at that point, I don't know if I can remember well, but I think I knew that that was Aaron at that point in time, or maybe I wasn't. If I'm being honest with myself, I don't think I even knew then. Do you guys remember that scene?
Yeah, I don't think I knew because it looks so different. And then, like I watched it when it came out, so there was a year or two between season 3 and season 4.
Hmm.
No, definitely did not realize it.
Yeah. All right, so you got these warrior candidates. Falco wants to become the Nets armor because he wants to keep Gabby from doing it. Because if you become a Titan shifter, you will only live another 13 years. But a lot of them want to do it for their families and become honorary Marlians because they've been brainwashed into thinking that they can become, I would say, the good minority or the model minority. Um, and and but they just been brainwashed a lot, like to hate themselves and to think of themselves as lesser. Not that much. I mean, a lot of stuff happens and stuff. Um, you meet Theo Magath, who some people like. I hate Magath. I don't see why people like Magath. Magath is like the one general who's kind of in charge of the warrior candidates and the Titan shifters in Marley.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he meets with the Tiber family to be like, hey, like we're trying to draw out like, or no, we're trying to get one that we're trying to go back on a mission to reclaim the founding Titan, and we need you because you have all your influence to put on a show and influence the whole world to join us in attacking Paradise Island. So Willie agrees. Willie thinks that he's going to be killed anyway. He's going to be a martyr. Then the episode ends with Reiner reuniting with Aaron, and that moment was like, holy crap! The tension is crazy. Like Aaron sitting down with Reiner. Oh, also didn't mention Reiner is suicidal. Reiner's like, just let me die.
He's
Like he has a
coming to the end of
shotgun
his
to his
run, you
mouth.
know?
Yeah. Reiner's like, I got a shotgun in my mouth. I'm ready to die. And these kids are banging on the window. What do they want? Just let me die. Um, then there's the episode Declaration of War. And sorry if I'm skipping over things. I don't think I've missed anything big, but correct me if I'm wrong in this little part before we get to kind of the inciting incident here. Oh, the scene that I really like is Reiner talking to him and Gabby's having dinner with his family. And they're like, "Oh, tell us how bad it was, Reiner." And Reiner's like, "The island was just full of like devil," or no, he says like terrible people. Like one girl had a potato, and and like the sergeant said she couldn't have any potatoes, and she split it in half. She divided it and offered half of it to the commander, but clearly that was only like a third. He's like, there was disgusting people, and like the family was shocked. I think they were shocked for two reasons. One thing he said, like they're like, what do you mean people? And he's like, oh no, devils. But also I think they were shocked because he's just describing a silly girl.
Yeah, he described a
There's
human
nothing
person with a
devilish.
potato
Yeah.
when they're all
Who's
expecting
selfish
him to
enough.
be like, oh, savages, and everybody just punches
Oh
each other
yeah.
in the dick for fun and things like that. It's like, no,
That,
he's describing
yeah.
a regular person.
Yeah. Um and then I don't think Zeke revealed anything in this point in time. Oh, we do meet Peak. Some reason people and we meet Peak, who's the Card Titan, and they're like, "Oh, she's the Card Titan." And then we meet the new Jaw Titan, who ate Annie. Even though I think it's dumb that Annie gave herself up. Da, 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 da. Okay. Anyway, Declaration of War. Willie tells the truth to the whole world, like, "Hey, we've been lying to you all this whole time. The King of the Walls, he was not a threat. He just left. He told us to leave him alone, and we didn't. And we wanted to keep kind of feeding this propaganda to you guys that Titans were terrible. I mean, yeah, they are terrible. You know they're terrible because Marley invades and wins all your wars with Titans. Um, you've seen it firsthand. But then he's like, yeah, the king, like the king's vow of peace just goes down person to person. They all inherit it, but someone usurped the throne, and like now there's a new person, the Attack Titan, Aaron Yeager. Like he's the devil essentially, and Aaron is at the same time. Aaron is talking to Reiner, and Aaron's like, "Hmm, am I the bad guy, Reiner?" And it's like, and Reiner is like just shook right now talking to Aaron. He's like, "What do you want?" And Aaron's like, "You know what? I'm no different than you now. Like I understand you."
I mean,
Um,
he says something like, "I understand you now. There's people over this side. There's
yeah,
no enemies or whatever he calls them. But then
yeah.
I'm
That's
just
the
like you." And
yeah. That's the thing. Is like Aaron. I I think it was really important twofold to show this side of the story because had they not, we would have been like fully on board with Aaron no matter what he did. Really, if they didn't show this side of the story. Um, and also it shows that Aaron saw the side of the story. Like Aaron isn't crazy. I mean, he is crazy in the head because he's he's almost a fourth dimensional being at this point of seeing time, of seeing everything at one point in time. He is crazy, but he's not homicidal. Even that doesn't sound accurate.
Mm,
He's not He's not vengeful. He's not like.
he's gotten
He's not
past
like
his
I have
initial
to.
purely vengeful
Yes, he's not that
bugs.
same Aaron before. That Aaron before was like, I'm going to kill every single little thing on the planet. Now he's like, I've come over this side. I've seen them and stuff. And he did come to the conclusion of like, yeah, I got to kill them, but it wasn't because of like, all right, I got to have vengeance against them. It was just they're coming. It was kill or be killed. Like this is the option that you guys gave me. Um,
I mean, he
and they show
clearly
that by him.
they show it then again like forward that he
Hmm,
doesn't really want to do it with it like with
yeah.
the little kid. He hugs him and says,
Mhm.
"I'm sorry," and it's like, "Sorry for what?"
Yeah. Oh, that scene. Yeah. Um. Okay. So they have the declaration of war. Aaron comes out, eats freaking Willie Tiber, and then there's a battle. He faces the Warhammer Titan. Doesn't wait for it to power up or doesn't wait for it at all to like come in full mode. Punches it, knocks it out. Because Aaron has like way more stamina than the Warhammer Titan, which really doesn't get used that much. And so he defeated the Warhammer Titan like pretty easily. And then the scouts show up, and like this was probably the most hype I was. I was like, yes, we are here. We are taking this place over. Like, and then here comes the Beast Titan. And here comes um Cart, and here comes
Jaw.
the Jaw Titan. And like, one of my favorite scenes is like the Jaw Titan just getting beat up, and like he's down, and like all the scouts are just like zigzagging at him, and it's just like poetry in motion almost. He's like, but I'm a Titan, like you guys really are devils, and and then like it just ends with like Levi's face. Love that moment. That whole fight, I rewatch that episode like probably 3 times.
He was great, and I love the new suits.
Yeah.
What they called? Forgot.
Their new
Hmm.
ODM gear
ODM
deals. Yeah.
gear. Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Yeah. And then Aaron ends up defeating. He can't scratch. He figures out that the Warhammer Titan
That's my favorite
um
part.
has like a essentially a remote control that they hide in a crystal ball, and they just control the Titan outside. Then he finds it, unplugs it like a freaking cable cord, tries to bite it, and it doesn't work. And then also at that moment, the Warhammer Titan like extracts like spikes at him and stuff. Then he gets out of that Titan, gets out of it, transforms into another attack Titan, and then he's fighting Mikasa, and him is fighting the Jaw Titan, and the Jaw Titan scratches the globe thingy, and he realizes, oh, that's what the Claw Titan is like really for, is to be able to combat this. He then takes the Jaw Titan and crams the ball in there, and then uses them as a nutcracker to gulp up the spinal fluid, and then he finally and you're like, yes, kill
That
her.
It
that could
was
be
Now
so
you got
great.
that could be my number 3 favorite moment. I thought that was amazing.
okay.
I think it's very telling about. First of all, it's very clever, but then it's also very telling about like the state, Aaron's state of mind presently,
Mm,
of just like very task oriented. Right, it wasn't about the murder. It's about the how do I make this work at
He was
whatever
locked
cost.
in.
Yeah. But it feels like a different mindset, right? It's not about murdering the Titans for
yeah,
him. There is like, no, how do I crack this egg literal? I have to.
he's not he's not um rambunctious and eager like we saw Aaron previously. He's more like calm and like, okay, this is how this works and stuff. And then like even when Mikasa finds him, she's like, Aaron, like we haven't seen you in such a long time, and you're wondering like, what the heck happened? Like, oh, this is not a plan that they all came up with. And then Armin is also has to turn to the Colossal Titan and take out like a dock of ships and stuff, which is cool. And he is like, I say it's cool. He killed countless people. And he's like, Bertolt, is this how you felt? Like, he's again, it's like one you didn't kill like a whole millions of people. You killed thousands, yes, but I mean, I guess you put numbers on something that doesn't make it right.
It makes it
But
right. It
anyway,
makes the difference sound valueless or what? You know what I mean? It's sort of devaluing.
Yeah.
But trolley problem, Chris. Trolley problem.
I know. I know. Mhm. Anyway, they win that battle pretty decisively, and they're on the way back because they thought of everything. They're gonna just come back through blimps, and and everything is fine. And then you see Gabby's point of view. Gabby's like, "Oh, we need to get Zolo some help. Zolo has half a face. Like, what's going on here? That guy died really quickly. The other little girl died, and then you see that she is Aaron. Like, she looks like they just drew a girl version of Aaron. It's like, I'm gonna kill them all. And it's like, oh, okay, I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing here, writer. So now Gabby shoots and kills Sasha, which was heartbreaking, honestly. That might be is that the saddest death? Maybe. Especially after the moment of Connie being like, I know it's not fair, but John and Sasha, like, you guys mean the most to me. Like, it kind of isn't. I mean, we get it. Like, you have your favorites. Like, if you ask Mikasa and Armin if you ask Armin who's the most important, Armin would be like, Aaron and Mikasa. Like, I get it that Connie and Sasha were like, they said they were like siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and their interactions were like so good also together. But then Sasha gets shot. Gabby is the best shot, I think. Like, I put her up there with like superhero villains, like Deadshot and Bullseye. Like, she is great with the rifle. Like, can't deny that. She's trained. She's trained up.
Yep, unfortunately.
Oh, I didn't mention we did also see Reiner's backstory, but we kind of got the gist of that. I do. That was the point where I no longer hated Reiner. Like, that's interesting that they do that to you as an audience. Is that like, okay, I get Reiner now. Like, he like, what else would he do at that point? Like, that's not bad writing at all. That's just what logically
Other than the
would
part where
happen.
he should be dead, that could be bad writing.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
No, I thought it was touched on the show's intentions in the perfect way to make you understand.
Yeah. And then Aaron asked like, what was Sasha's last words? What'd she say? And then Connie just like, meat. And Aaron's just like laughing. Like, and this was Aaron was laughing because this was the moment that he knew he already saw that Sasha was going to be killed. And this is kind of the first big thing to happen since he saw everything happen. And so that's just confirmed that like he was helpless in everything happening. And then you find out that so I also didn't say that Zeke killed the Beast Titan, and you're like, man, that was kind of anticlimactic, but I don't care. Beast Titan's dead. And they're like, no, he survived. He
Still
is
there.
he is here. He is present with us. He is apparently on our side. Not understanding it, but going along with it. Then they head back to Sasha gets on. They jump. Not Sasha. They jump the crap out of Falco and Gabby. Rightfully so. I would do the same thing
Yeah.
also. I mean, I get it. Gabby shot Sasha. Definitely gonna jump Gabby, and this person is with Gabby, so you jump them too. I mean, I know they're kids, but I get the red. You didn't kill them, so that's anyway. They they head back to Paradise Island, and and that's when we get flashbacks to 3 years ago, and it kind of explains like what was happening. I'm kind of gonna gloss over some of this, but before I do that, I guess any thoughts on that battle and stuff?
Great battle, great Titan fights. Like it was a really cool Titan fight between the Attack Titan and the Hammer Titan. I like how the Hammer Titan wasn't Wilbur. Like it was just that random girl. Oh, no, what was it? Like a sister of
I think
Wilbur?
that's his sister. Yeah,
But she was like just on the sideline, and she was that was cool. And normally nothing else to add. That I hate Gabby, and Gabby should shut up forever.
yeah. Okay. Let's see how fast I can get through. Oh my gosh, who knows? I'll just keep going until we go, until Shawn just is asleep.
It's gonna happen at some point.
We might not finish part 4 today, honestly. We still have a lot of talk about it.
I know, right? We still got kind of a lot.
We do. Let's cut it. I'm pretty exhausted. Let's cut it, and then we'll do like part 4 and final thoughts next week.
That's probably.
I
Good,
think
yeah.
that is a good idea.
Because I will absolutely pass out in this chair.
Yeah, we said we were gonna talk too much about part 3, and then we ended up talking
Hey,
like
the
an hour and
show-
a half about it.
The show, it's hard not to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm trying to like skim through things, and yeah, the shows there's just a lot that goes on. But yeah,
And I mean,
All right,
part,
well
part
then.
3 is the least favorite of most people, but it's still such a good part because the last Shiganshina fight was so good. Everything
Yeah.
in there was
No, that
so
was
good.
that if I had to split up like the seasons into parts almost, or just arcs, that arc of reclaiming Shiganshina, I think is probably my favorite
Best
arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Me too, honestly.
It's a really cool, really well thought out like battle scene that your brain can still actually follow.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
There's everything you want. There's great battles, great Titan battles, great masterminds, tactics,
Yeah.
and then lore, talking about the basement and everything after.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
without demeaning some of the other stuff. It's like you can see the whole playing field, and it's very thoughtful and action heavy, and it doesn't feel like it's just throwing way too much at y'all at once. You can absorb what's going on in that battle.
Yeah.
I would agree. That's a great.
It's a great for
arc.
once.
We'll call it an arc.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so next week we'll do essentially season 4, which is probably the longest season just by length of time. So
I mean, we already covered a good chunk of season
a little
4.
portion. And then we can do overview. I'm sure we'll have kind of circumventing overall thoughts and things to offer.
Yeah.
So we'll do both those next week. Before I just like slump out of this chair. It's not been a good sleep week for baby this week, but that being
Me
said,
for you. Me for yourself. Your baby's sleeping fine for the age it is.
yeah, actually he
Out of
is
town.
doing really good. No, he's doing really good. He just we've had some like poor timing of things and other work things today, doctor's appointments and stuff like none of it is lined up well, unfortunately. But he's doing his part. He's sleeping 4-hour chunks consistently, so he's doing
that's
great.
good.
Yeah, but that being said, Chris, thanks for walking us through that. Gio, thanks for pointing out all the important things I have to pay attention to. This has been Avatar: The Last Podcasters. I'll put all the information down in the description, like always. If you can leave us likes, thumbs ups, comments, any other positive form of interaction, we love that. We're very grateful. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.